The room goes quiet because a background check widget just popped up on a dating profile, and now 3 kids are watching grown people rearrange their lives on a phone.
Welcome to Danny's Den. Today, we'll dive into love, parenting, sports, and the small legal details that change everything. Let's chat. Stick with me. By the end of this episode, you'll have clear, practical steps. How to read what a background check actually shows, what sealing or expungement can realistically do, how judges think about records in custody fights, and a few short lines you can use when it's time to talk with a new partner or co-parent.
Quick baseline. Arrests and convictions are not the same.
An arrest means someone was taken into custody. It's a snapshot of an event. A conviction means there was a guilty finding or plea. Simple difference, big consequences for how people see a record. Why that matters, many consumer background checks will list arrests, but in family court, judges usually focus on patterns of behavior and present risk, not just an isolated old arrest. Sealing or expungement isn't an eraser, it's a filter, useful but not perfect.
Sealing usually limits public access to a record. Expungement may remove records in some places, but employers with certain licensing powers, courts, or federal background checks can sometimes still see parts of a sealed or expunged file, depending on state law.
So don't assume instant invisibility. If you're considering relief, consult a local attorney about eligibility and timelines. State rules vary a lot, and there's paperwork and waiting involved. Here's a short vignette that helps make custody decisions less abstract. Imagine a 35-year-old parent with a non-violent drug possession arrest at 22 who completed treatment, has 8 years of steady employment, and a teacher's note about consistent school attendance. Courts often treat that history much differently than a recent, repeated violent charge. When judges decide parenting time, the guiding question is the child's best interest, which boils down to safety, stability, and who provides daily care. A long ago isolated offense, plus evidence of steady life, usually weighs in your favor. Recent continuing risk looks very different. Practically, documentation is your ally. Keep school calendars, doctor notes, consistent work records, even simple things like attendance at parent-teacher meetings. Those everyday papers show routine, and courts notice routine.
Small details matter. The parent who shows up for morning practices, who handles bedtime, who manages homework. Those are the things that build a record of care over time. Don't underplay them. Okay, dating. When should someone bring up a past record to a new partner? 2 guiding rules: honesty timed to safety, and frames with accountability.
You don't have to unload your full legal history on date 2, but before a new partner meets your child. That's the line. Be calm, be concise, and focus on what you've done since. A short human script works. I want to be upfront because your safety and my kids' safety matter. Here's a bit of my past and what I've done since.
If you're co-parenting and dating someone new, set boundaries early. First meetings in neutral spaces, brief child-focused intros, and don't let a new relationship change agreed parenting schedules without a conversation. Do basic vetting if safety is a concern. Glance at public social profiles, check references you trust, and trust your instincts. If something feels off, pause the introductions until you feel comfortable.
Let's switch gears for a moment. Rituals. Sports nights and small routines can be anchors after disruption. Think Sunday pancakes before an Eagles game, or the same seat for Yankees playoff nights. These rituals are low-pressure ways to rebuild reliability. The same snack, the same pre-game half hour for homework or a check-in. Over time, those tiny repeats say to a kid, this is safe, this is regular. Music does the same emotional work. Shared playlists from the late 80s through the 2000s, mellow R&B, some hip-hop classics, a few upbeat tracks can reset the vibe without heavy conversation. Try a short healing household playlist, a mellow Lauryn Hill track, an Alicia Keys moment, maybe Outkast for a lighter beat, then something that gets everyone smiling. Before we wrap, here are 3 concrete steps you can take this week. 1.
Check your options. Look up state sealing or expungement rules, and if possible, book a consult with a local family attorney or legal clinic to understand timelines.
2. Draft a short disclosure note you can use when the situation calls for it. One paragraph that says what happened, what you've done since, and how you keep your kids safe.
3. Protect routines. Pick one weekly ritual to reintroduce or reinforce for a month. Keep it consistent. Let that stability do the persuasive work for you.
A quick reminder. This episode gives general information, not case-specific legal advice. For custody disputes or complicated record issues, reach out to a local attorney or legal clinic who can apply the rules to your facts. If this episode helped, subscribe to Danny's Den so you don't miss weekly mixes of law, love, sports, and music. Check the show notes for resources and links to book a free 30-minute consultation if you have a specific legal question. Drop a comment with a topic you want covered next. Thanks for listening. Let's chat.